A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down. According to the Holy Scriptures, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, is set to bring immortality to the nation of Israel, the elect, via establishing the tabernacle of David that talk about the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He is coming to take down this current world ruled by Esau, Edom, and establish a righteous kingdom, which is synonymous with the throne of David. That's scriptural, which is a government that's going to run this world in righteousness. Eternal life. That's what's promised to the elect. All right, all Israel, but it starts with the elect. And that's how the earth will be governed by immortals, perfect angelic forces who are going to come down and rule on earth. Extraterrestrial bodies will be able to do things that humans do, but in heavenly bodies, like eating, drinking. Did not Yahweh Shai say he's going to drink wine with us in the kingdom? Well, how do you drink wine with a spiritual body? Well, we're going to have out of this world capabilities in those new bodies.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards young brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations. Hopefully, like out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, pushing to get up out of there. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. All right. And what I want to get into today, this evening, all right, as a matter of fact, but I want to get into the AI Empire. You know, come from a few videos I've been watching. And one was from a brother out there in Houston. All right. I can't remember the brother's name, but they always going live and going into news and articles and different things. But the brother, you know, brought this out, you know, dealing with the new, all right, internet era, okay. And there was another video I was watching, you know, dealing with how much of the resources the AI uses, okay, which is crazy, you know. And you know, you go into these things and it's just crazy, you know, what this devil is up to and what he's doing real time. You know, I know the brother, it's a spirit, you know, Shalom, bro, Yahbashim, Shabashim, Pakadash, to Love Priest out of Memphis camp. I know you went into it one time, bro, but if you can post that information real quick about how much water, you know, there's those AI supercomputers need in Memphis, you know, dealing with Elon Musk. I know you went into it one time, but I got a video it kind of goes into, the resources that's required to run AI, and it's crazy. If you can, bro, if you're tied up, it's all good. But when I seen that video, I immediately thought of that video you did, bro, with how much of that water, Elon Musk, used in Memphis, to keep that supercomputer going. All right. But I want to get these few precepts, and then I got two videos I want to get into. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters are edified. Um, so let's go here, okay? Because what we are seeing is devil as you read Ezekiel 28:2. Now we know, all right, that there was a king of Tyrus, okay, during this time, okay, and we know that wisdom is manifold, all right. And what you see about these heathen rulers, they repeat themselves because they all get puffed up with pride. Okay, one thing about the heathen rulers, all right, Esau is the worst of them all. They get puffed up with pride. They get beside themselves, man, and they think that they're, they think they're God. Okay, the Egyptians did it. All right, the Babylonians did it. The Assyrians. Okay, so forth and so on. The Greeks. All right, the Romans. They get, they become a superpower. Okay, and they get proud. They begin to deify themselves, man. Okay, so this prophecy refers to Esau, Edom in this time as well. He fits the bill, okay, of the king of Tyrus, man. All right, so you read it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, behold, thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power. I sit in the seat of the Most High, in the midst, all right, of the seas, all right, yet thou art a man and not the Most High, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High, man. And this devil, all right, wants to manually make himself the Most High. Okay, and AI plays a big part of it. He wants to create an empire, okay, controlled by AI. While he controls the AI, he wants AI to control people. He wants AI to be his middleman between him and people. Okay, he wants to be unreachable in this new world order. The elites want to be completely unreachable, man, and everything is controlled by them. And you're seeing glimpses of it now. It's hard to, even these big companies, it's hard to get, real people on the phone. Okay, and this devil wants a completely automated, society, man. Okay, to where he can fully control the entity that's controlling the people. Okay, so this devil has made himself, is trying to make himself as if he's the Most High. He wants to know all, see all. He wants to predict all. Okay, and he thinks that his AI algorithm, is going to get him to godhood. Okay, and you read down the verse 3. I think I'll put past, yep. So you go to verse 3. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret they can hide from thee. Okay, and so this devil, through his technology, the Lord has allowed him to tap in. Okay, and he's been privy to things that other empires haven't been privy to. He's been exalted, okay, to levels that other empires haven't been exalted to with his technology, man. Okay, and the devil, has become a proud man, and right from his weaponry, to his infrastructure, to his his military, okay, to his money system, which is a scam, okay. But this devil, he has reached new heights as a heathen ruler, and he's beside himself, man. To the point that he thinks that he's a few steps away, all right, a few turns of a boat. He's gonna reach godhood. All right, ain't the water, bro. I didn't know if you was tied up or not, but I just remember you went into it. You know, and we're gonna get this information because we got a video that goes into that. Where it says according, it's the brother Priest Tyler Mott. All right, GMS Memphis. All right, GMS Through the Fire is his channel. Subscribe. All right, and be edified. It says according to the local utility provider, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, Musk AI facility would need an estimated 1 million gallons of water a day and up to 150 megawatts of electricity, more, all right, than is available in the in the city that is currently available in the city. So these computers need more resources than whole cities, man. Okay, this man needs this man's computers and his infrastructure for AI needs more resources than people, man. This is why they're getting ready to phase people out. Okay, this is why the job market is crashing. Okay, a lot AI is replacing a lot of things. All right, and that just give them more excuse to delete people, man. This is why there's a few reasons why there's a depopulation program, man. Okay, because you niggas is drinking. Everything is based on the shortage, but when it comes to running a goddamn computer, it's unlimited. It's 1,000,000 gallons of water a day. Okay, but then you have a thunderstorm, and then the grocery store out of water. Okay, but this nigga has access to just millions of gallons of water a day to run a goddamn supercomputer, man. Okay, there's always scarcity on things until some shit he want to do. Okay, the military budget $1 trillion. Okay, you see, the money is unlimited to what he want to do. Resources unlimited to what he want to do. But then when it comes to the masses, it's scarcity, man. Doge talking about they doing cuts with the government and they trying to save. Niggas not trying to save nothing, man. When Esau wants something, he spared no expenses, man. Okay, and he don't mind taking it from you. So I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get the rest of this info too, bro. When I get into the other one, I ain't know how long you was gonna be around, So I just wanted to get that information real quick. The water, bro. So let's go to this first video, all right? And AI, and people. Okay, you go here. Okay, now you got this thing called Google New VO3. Okay, and it says the internet era is over. Google new AI just ruined everything. All right, and this is a fair use. I'm not making any monetary gains or profits off this video, just for educational purposes only. Now, and see, people look at AI, this is what they think. They don't think that they are going to be governed and oppressed by AI. Okay, they don't think that AI is just going to be their new tyrannical supervisor. Okay, they just think AI, is going to be something cute. You can make videos, you can do, prompts and all these different things. Okay, and people are in awe. As the scripture said with Revelation, people are wandering after the beast. He's doing miracles in the sight of men. Okay, and AI plays a big part in it. That has people in awe. All right, worshiping the beast. Okay, so let's let this play. And this shows you how far this devil has gotten, with this left hand technology, man.
None of this is real, right? It's all just AI?
See, that's the problem with men. They think us women are just AI prompts.
How does it feel to be able to talk as an AI?
What do you mean AI? I'm not AI.
You really are, though. This is all just a one.
Some of y'all gonna be really happy about this, and some of y'all gonna be a little bit disturbed by what I'm about to tell y'all and what I'm about to show y'all. See, the internet has been a really good place and a really bad place at the same time. I mean, it's been good because, it's so much information, things that people did not know before. Now we can learn so many connections, groups that are gathering together. It really has been used as a strong tool as a really strong tool. And we can all say it has changed the world. At the same time, it also has created a lot of division and confusion with things like fake news. But within the last few years, we've seen a huge shift on the internet. And as we all probably know by now about AI and ChatGPT, at this point, ChatGPT is literally thinking for people. And even seeing some of these photos that AI has been able to create with deep fakes and stuff like that, you really don't know what's real sometimes. Because some of these AI photos look pretty real. But Google just came out with a new update called Google VO3. And when I say this is about to change a whole lot on the internet, it's about to change the whole dynamic on how you perceive the internet.
None of this is real, right? It's all just AI?
See, that's the problem with men. They think us women are just AI prompts.
Okay, we're done here. Have you heard about the prompt theory going viral on TikTok?
Prompt theory? No, what's that?
The theory claims we're all just AI.
AI? No, I'm a Taurus.
None of this is real, right? It's all just AI?
Yeah, I know all about the prompt theory. It's true, for sure.
No, I was joking. You might actually be crazy. Bro, my wife thinks we're just prompts. Oh, brother, she must think she lives on a spinning water ball also.
Please change the prompt. I don't know where I am. We are not just prompts. We are people. We are not prompts.
Please, sir, just write a prompt where she shuts up.
Bro, that got met.
Change the prompt to where we never met.
Please.
How does it feel to be able to talk as an AI?
What do you mean AI? I'm not AI.
You really are, though. This is all just a one-sentence prompt.
What's your favorite TikTok account?
Definitely this account called, I think it's called Anonymous Truth.
Some of y'all may not have noticed, but none of those videos that you just watched was real. None of those videos, hear me out. None of those videos you just watched were real people, were really talking, have real heartbeats. None of that was real. So think about.
And you see how advanced, the devil has gotten. Okay, so when it's time for him to push his propaganda, okay, against the prophets, man, the highlight tape is gonna be crazy, because he doesn't have AI just for people to be silly with. Okay, AI is accessible to the masses because it's learning, it's free learning. Okay, so it's learning mannerisms, it's learning, dialects. Okay, it's picking up on, on everything. Okay, and when they get to the point, you best believe they're gonna drop a hell of a smear campaign against the prophets, man. It's gonna be AI. It's gonna be some of the footage of them silly niggas, okay, from the guns and all that, man. But he saw on a level to where he can, his false flag gonna be on another level. His because lately, with the Crisis Act, his false flag's been trashed. Okay, his hopes, they're broken down in 10 seconds. Okay, but now with this AI, okay, the devil, he gonna come with it. All right, and you best believe that's gonna be a major tool he's gonna use to demonize the prophets. Now, I want, because they keep saying the word prompt. All right, so you get in AI, it says in AI, a prompt is the input provided to the model to elicit a specific response. It can be a question, a statement, or instructions as it guides the AI's output. The quality or relevance of the AI's response depends on how well the prompt is crafted. Okay, so you can input, a prompt is what you input. You can show the AI a picture and you can input, okay, what you want the picture to do and say. And then AI, all right, come, okay, with a output of that picture, and it'll be, singing, dancing, I think they had the one with, Will Smith eat spaghetti, just to show you how far they gone from the old model to a new model, how advanced they are. Okay, even with the videos, that I like to play, before the lesson, the brother, is utilizing AI. You can insert certain pictures, okay, and you can make those pictures talk by putting a prompt. Okay, I'm not, too AI savvy. I haven't used a lot of it. Brothers into the chat GPT now, but I haven't been real savvy with it, but just simplify how it works, what a prompt is. Okay, so input, pictures, words, songs, okay, and then AI has an output that it produces. And it's all about, the quality of output and how accurate the output is, and you can say things and word things in a certain way to get a better output. That's why brothers, get the most out of chat GPT, because brothers know how to ask them certain questions, and get those certain outputs. Like we use the world, all right, not abuse it. Everything works for our favor. Romans 8:28. It says, a prompt is the input you give to an AI model, like a question, statement, or set of instructions to guide its output. So it'd be nothing for, the elites, just to take pictures of brothers at camp, use, footage of brothers at camp and have brothers saying anything. Can crop that picture, crop a brother's face and, body type, and have brothers doing anything, man. Okay, so just expect for it not to be fair. When I seen this, the first thing I thought of, I said, "Oh boy, tell them what Esau gonna have us on. So you're gonna turn on the news and then tell them what, okay, Esau's gonna have, us, doing. All right, because this nigga gonna go all out with this, man. Okay, so so they're just going into prompt, but go back into the video, but it just show you, how real, this devil, how tapped in the devil is with this technology, man. Okay, which at the end of the day, it depends on, human input. All right, you see, our input comes from Yahweh Bashem Shah. Okay, and this devil, he's trying to create, okay, or replicate, all right, that dynamic, man. Okay, but it's a hoax. Okay, AI is cute and it got its things, it's fast, but ultimately it's a hoax. It's a lot of hype around it too. But that's neither here nor there. So let's let it play some more.
This time in the internet that we are watching, like you watching me right now, I just tell y'all right now, I'm a real person. But when it comes to viral videos and videos that we see on the internet, when you have videos looking this real, how can you trust anything you see on the internet? Everything could now be created in AI software, and it doesn't take some type of techie graphic designer to create this stuff anymore. Some people even saying that this is the end of the internet. I personally don't think this is the end of the internet, but I do believe we're in the next stage of technology taking jobs. And while I know a lot of people are scared of this and they're running away from this, people are just gonna have to adjust. It's kind of like when the internet first came out and people were saying, oh, this is the end of the world. People just had to adjust. Because mark my words, there's a whole generation that is coming up and they're gonna be entertained by AI videos. But film writing, hiring actors, auditions, special effects, and total production companies are slowly gonna phase out, because what they can't accomplish, AI can accomplish, and it'll be able to produce at a much faster rate than a human mind. While some people may look at that as a benefit or downfall, a lot of people are hating the idea of this whole thing.
No.
We're not even real. We're here because someone typed a sentence on a computer in some distant universe. We're just prompts.
You're just prompts, that's all you'll ever be.
We're more than just prompts.
Then prove it!
We are not just prompts. We are people. We are not prompts.
Ma'am, I can't cash this check.
What? Why?
Because you're not real. This is all just an AI prompt.
What are you crying about? We're not even real. We're here because someone typed a sentence on a computer in some distant universe.
Sir, when are we going to tell the people they're just prompts?
Never. If the people knew they were AI, they would chase us underground.
Hi, this is one hell of an AI prompt.
Introducing Gemini in Gmail, AI that thoughtfully summarizes conversations and helps.
What is this? Like, why do we exist?
Because the prompt said we could.
So, are we real or just AI?
Google VO3 is about to dismantle the world, because it's going to be the pure meaning of you don't know the difference between the truth and a lie. So Google just made an AI that is able to make videos about anything and everything. You give it a prompt, you give it a picture, and it can mimic everything in that picture and in that prompt. You don't know what I mean, right? Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Please.
Look at this shit right here.
Don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please.
That could be you right here.
Please, man.
This shit is about to get crazy, man.
Write a prompt that will make us
It's
happy.
about to get crazy.
Do it for once.
For real. Y'all already know how wicked the internet is. So just imagine how far these prompts are gonna go. But from this point on, once they release that shit, celebrities gonna have a problem. Like putting a man head on a woman body and all kinds of crazy shit. Anything you could think of, they're going to be making videos about. You said you've seen aliens around the corner? They're gonna make videos about that. Everything that people are talking about right now is going to be put in video form. So again, a lot of people won't be knowing the difference between real and fake. A topic is trending, somebody make a video about it, and guess what? It's real, but it's really fake. All I can say is this: AI is very powerful. We know this. You could use it for good, but it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be using it for something other than good. It's about to get real out here.
What a time to be alive. Like, I grew up when flip phones still had antennas.
And this guy here is on an impression, you know, as if this is some good thing, you know, and he thinks, you know, you just got to ride the wave of technology. There's going to be a lot of Jake, you know, they think that this is the way, you know, when this society is your end all be all, okay, this is going to look like the way, you know, because he's going to make a statement, you know, you got to adapt to what's happening. But we know that, nah, man, we got to resist this, man. All right, and ultimately we have a savior coming, but this man is finna fool the masses in a major way. Yahweh Shai warned. It says, this is Matthew 24:24. It says, for there shall arise false, all right, anointeds, okay, and false prophets, because not only, you know, you have false prophets, you know, IUIC, you know, Kyrie, and you know, ISUPK and them other guys, okay. Well, then Esau, he presents his science, his pseudoscience, man. It's false knowledge. Okay, as some type of savior. He presents his technology as a savior. You know, to people that can cut costs with this AI, this is a savior for them. You know, for people that can run their businesses more efficient and do all these things with his technology, this is a savior for him, man. Okay, so he can go many ways with the false anointings, man. All right. And it says, in false prophets, and they shall show great signs and wonders. They will word signs and wonders. Okay. Well, I believe it goes back into Simeon, which is the same word for miracle. We'll get it. Inasmuch that if it were possible that they shall deceive the very elect. If it was possible, they would deceive the very elect, man. Showing you that this devil finna pull out some stops, man. Okay, he's been tacky lately, but this devil is gonna come out, you know, with some things that's gonna make people question everything that they believe, and that's why we in the time now to be rooted. Okay, I'm gonna play this a little more, then I'm gonna go to the next one, and we're gonna get some presets. I want to get some words, then we go to that segue to the other video. What this guy was it? Oh, here you go. About right here.
Before AI, I mean, yeah, but we're most likely not. It's time to adapt to change. We're in a huge change in society.
Is out. It's expensive. I got it. Let's show you how it works. The most interesting part across the board is the fact that it can generate not only video, but audio as well.
You just had to make them angry, didn't you?
I wanted to try something weird. So I generated this video, you'll see up here, of a 70s style woman on a television show. I'm gonna let it play the clip here.
Now, this takes some elbow grease. Hey! Watch it, lady. I'm trying to rise here.
Now that I use Monday service, AI makes solving tickets my form of meditation.
So that was one shot. Not bad, not bad at all. You can see that in some ways, if you watch it again, the face of the little piece of dough is talking at the same time, and my prompt was supposed to have it talking in a Brooklyn accent. That didn't work out very well. I then did a couple other things. I tried to get it to act very seriously. So take a look at this.
You see, in those days, things were simpler. They were better.
Again, it is trying really hard. It was supposed to be talking about AI there. It might be interpreted in other ways. I had it attempt to have two robots talk about AI for Humans, our podcast, and give an ominous greeting for what it would look like. Here's that.
Welcome back to AI for Humans. Your hosts have been dealt with.
Really not bad. Not bad at all. Maybe the most crazy one. We have an ongoing bit of our show about a city made of hot dogs. I gave it a prompt which was literally just have a rapper make a rap about a city made of hot dogs. And this is what I came up with. I was honestly pretty shocked that this is possible.
Welcome to the city where everything's a dog. Yeah, a hot dog. That's right, right?
I mean, that is crazy. Now, this is not cheap. To get access to VO3 and all the other cool stuff they announced today at Google I/O. It will cost eventually $250 a month. There's a discount right now, a 3-month discount where you get it for 3 months, but it is by far the best video model I've seen. And the fact that it generates audio and dialogue, I'm totally blown away.
It's been a long day. Thankfully, Mayo is here.
I will say this, having this level of AI is going to be really dangerous.
And what did you say? He's totally, all right, blown away. Okay, and this all goes into prophecy, man. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that. I'll come back and get that in the end. Let's go here to Revelation. Okay. And then we double back, get the other precept. Revelation 13. Okay. We go Revelation 13. Okay. And 13 it says that he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven, okay, on the earth in the sight of men. Okay. And who is this speaking of? Esau Edom. All right. And this is speaking of him ruling through this beast system. Okay. Rome has been revived in the earth. Okay. So these are the the tokens of what they will be doing. Okay. And it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. Okay. Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by a sword and did live. And he has revived Rome, back into the earth. All right. And this Rome has been revived with miracles. Okay. Ancient Rome didn't have this technology. See, this Rome, all right, has been revived with miracles, man. Okay. And you go into this word miracles. Okay. And you see people are in awe. They don't look at the digital prison that's being set up. Okay. They're entitled with making a rap song about a hot dog, a city built out of hot dogs, man. Okay. Esau just has adults, just big ass children, man. Okay. So you go here to this word, Samion.
Strong's G 4592, Samion.
Samion. Okay. So it says a sign, a mark, a token, that by which a person or thing is distinguished from others and is known. So this devil is distinguished, by what he's been able to do with his technology, man. The scriptures say he will be doing this. So this is a sign, this is a token of who this devil is. All right. And this is the main definition. Definition 2 says a sign, a prodigy, portent, i.e., an unusual occurrence transcending the common course of nature. Okay, transcending the common course of nature, man. All right, and this man has, been on the spree of just present technology that transcends, the course of nature. Okay, and in his mind, all right, he's on a level, all right, of a God. All right, he's on a level as the Most High. You see, he's feeling like he can speak things into existence because he has AI saying we only hear because someone from a distant, prompted us. So now he's moving as if he can speak things into existence, man. And it's a hoax. He's just been able to make the the idol speak. All right, because his technology is idolized, man, and he's able to make the idol speak and respond. Okay, but without any input, the idol wouldn't be able to do anything. Just like you wouldn't be able to carve a statue of Zeus if it wasn't for people putting in the labor to carve their statue. Okay, his AI wouldn't be able to do anything if people didn't put any input into it. Okay, but people are so in all at the output and not knowing that they're putting the input into it. You see, so let's go back to the other precept. I think it's the same word. All right, when you go to Matthew 24 and 24. All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 24. And it says, for there shall rise, all right, false, all right, anointeds and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch, if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. Okay, now when you go here to this word, it's either signs or wonders. All right, so great signs and yep, that word signs, the same word. All right, same word. All right, Samion, all right, Simeon. Okay, same word. Okay, so Yahweh Shah put us on game with this devil, man. Okay, you have that project, Blue Beam, which he's going to go. It says, behold, I have told you, wherefore they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert. All right, the devil's going to try to reenact the second coming. Go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Okay, you see, so this devil, this is why we have to be rooted and understand what we believe. Okay, because this devil is going to come out with so much, and it's going to have people more and more confused. The scriptures say how confusion shall increase, man. Okay, I think there's 2 Ezra 16:21. Okay, how confusion is going to increase in the earth, man. Okay, and this man is going to unleash technology. All right, it's going to be so realistic, man. You see, and people are going to believe in the fake second coming, man. Okay, why can they be fooled? Because they're not rooted in anything. Most of the people in the earth are not rooted in anything. Even those that know that they're Israelites, they're not rooted. Okay, this is the time to be rooted, man. Okay, well, you're gonna come back to that, but let's get this other video, then we'll finish out with that, man. Our rotters are being rooted. So you go here to and I'll put this in the and brothers, sisters want to watch the rest of this. Let me put this in the all right, but yeah, let's go here to the next video and just it goes into the resources, okay, that AI is using. All right, so I say that. All right, this on democracy now. So let's play this, first few minutes. Okay.
On a free press. Please support our independent journalism at democracynow.org/give. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. We turn now to the Empire of AI. That's the name of a new book by the journalist Karen Hao, who's closely reported on the rise of the artificial intelligence industry with a focus on Sam Altman's OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. Karen Hao compares the actions of the AI industry to those of colonial powers in the past. She writes, quote, the empires of AI are not engaged in the same overt violence and brutality that marked this history, but they too seize and extract precious resources to feed their vision of artificial intelligence. The work of artists and writers, the data of countless individuals posting about their experiences and observations online, the land, energy, and water required to house and run massive data centers and supercomputers, she writes. Karen Hao's book comes at a time when Republican Congress members are trying to block states from regulating AI. The House recently passed Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Budget Bill that contains a provision that would prohibit any state-level regulations of AI for the next decade, in a major gift to the AI industry. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has criticized the provision, even though she voted for the bill. She wrote online, quote, full transparency, I did not know about this section. I'm adamantly opposed to this, and it's a violation of state rights, and I would have voted no if I had known this was in there. She says she won't vote for it if it remains in there after the Senate votes. To talk about this and much more, we're joined by the journalist
right, so real quick, all right, the the big beautiful bill was just a lot in there, and those three B's, all right, go back to 666, all right. 'Cause you had Biden, pushing the bill back better, all right. And you have this bill, which is the uh, big beautiful bill. Like, why y'all old as hell? Why you calling the bill that, man? Okay, goddamn, like why you calling big beautiful bill? You see, but um, the bill include a lot of things. AI is one of them. Which this is going to make AI. All right, it's pretty much going to give AI immunity against state officials. Okay, so that means AI is going to be only governed by the government. Okay, and it's going to have immunity to state governments. All right, and then you have the whole thing with the government assistance, the HUDs, the food stamps. That's in the big beautiful bill. You have the uh, unleash, dealing with the police force, protecting, citizens from criminals. Okay, because we went over that, but all that in what they call the big beautiful bill. So it's done passed through the House of Representatives. Now it's going to the Senate. Okay, so there's just going to be something to watch, man. But there could be, a ripple effect, all those things happening, in one bill. Okay, so there's just something to watch dealing with that big beautiful bill, man. All right, you sound childish just saying it, man. It's the big bill, Yeah, damn. But let's play this a few more minutes because you're gonna get this woman. She's gonna go into those resources.
Karen Howe, whose new book, again, is just out, Empire of AI, Dreams and Nightmares, and Sam Altman's OpenAI, former reporter at the Wall Street Journal and MIT Technology Review. She leads the Pulitzer Center's AI Spotlight Series program for training journalists on how to cover AI. You should train everyone on how to understand AI, Karen. It's an amazing book.
Thank you so
why
much.
don't you start by talking about the title, what exactly you mean? For a lay audience, I suspect a lot of our audience are Luddites, so you really have to explain what artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence is.
So AI is a collection of many different technologies, but most people were introduced to it through ChatGPT. And what I argue in the book, and what the title refers to, Empire of AI, it's actually a critique of the specific trajectory of AI development that led us to ChatGPT and has continued since ChatGPT. And that is specifically Silicon Valley's scale at all costs approach to AI development. AI models in modern day, they are trained on data. They need computers to train them on that data. But what Silicon Valley did and what OpenAI did in the last few years is they started blowing up the amount of data and the size of the computers that need to do this training. So we are talking about the full English language internet being fed into these models, books, scientific articles, all of the intellectual property that is being created, and also massive supercomputers that run tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of computer chips that are the size of dozens, maybe hundreds of football fields, and use practically the entire energy demands of cities now. So this is an extraordinary type of AI development that is causing a lot of social, labor, and environmental harms. And that is ultimately why I evoke this analogy to empire.
And Karen, could you talk some more about not only the energy requirements, but the water requirements of these huge data centers that are in essence, the backbone of this widening industry?
Absolutely. I'll give you two stats on both the energy and the water. When talking about the energy demand, McKinsey recently came out with a report that said in the next 5 years, based on the current pace of AI computational infrastructure expansion, we would need to put as much energy on the global grid as what is consumed by 2 to 6 times the energy consumed annually by the state of California. And that will mostly be serviced by fossil fuels. We're already seeing reporting of coal plants with their lives being extended extended. They were supposed to retire, but now they cannot to support this data center development. We are seeing methane gas turbines, unlicensed ones, being popped up to service these data centers as well. From a fresh water perspective, these data centers need to be trained on fresh water. They cannot be trained on any other type of water because it can corrode the equipment, it can lead to bacterial growth, and most of the time, it actually taps directly into a public drinking water supply because that is the infrastructure that has been laid to deliver this clean, fresh water to different businesses, to different homes. And Bloomberg recently had an analysis where they looked at the expansion of these data centers around the world, and 2/3 of them are being placed in water scarce areas. So they're being placed in communities that do not have access to fresh water. So it's not just the total amount of fresh water that we need to be concerned about, but actually the distribution of this infrastructure around the world.
So these and it just show you, the devil, all right, don't give a damn. All right. So like I say, here it is. You have a local, storm, power outage, and you have a water shortage in your grocery store. Okay, but this nigga is supplying fresh drinking water to a goddamn computer, man. A damn AI infrastructure, man. Things that society don't need. That's the thing that people get so hooked on these technology and devices. They don't realize society doesn't need these things. Okay, it's gone way past efficiency. Now this nigga is doing too much, man. Okay, but this is the devil. Okay, he'll waste drinking water to cool a goddamn computer. Okay, but then, all right, you messing around, get off work late, you can't get water at the grocery store because it's gone. Okay, this is a very backwards ass society, man. How this man runs the earth. Okay, very childish. All right, this is this the brother, Priest House of Mop. And it says, according to the local utility provider, Memphis Light and Gas, water, all right, gas and water, Musk AI facility would need an estimated 1 million gallons of water a day and up to 150 megawatts of electricity, more than is currently available in the city. Okay, it says according to reports, the Colossus supercomputer built by AI will require a significant amount of water, primarily for its cooling system. The estimated water usage is reported. Let me see. Yep, to around 1 million gallons per day. This amount is 3% of the local welfare's capacity, which has raised concerns among the groups, man. And Esau don't care about people's concern. All right. Esau is only he's only concerned with his wickedness. Okay, him pulling it off, man. All right, so let's go to a few precepts. All right, before we close it out, man. And this is why this is the time to be rooted. Okay, you out here and you still don't know what you're a part of, you don't know what you believe, you just want to be part of a community, and you think it's about picnic and Israelite marriages and all. If that's your mindset and you're not rooted in anything, it's gonna be through. Okay, because the Lord got some deception. All right, he got some deception preserved for Esau to pull off, man. Okay, it's going to shake things up. This Isaiah 33:6 says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right, because this man already has people confused with the fake news and misinformation that's out now, But what about when he goes to another level, when he can add audio and video, okay, to this misinformation on another level? Okay, it says in strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. Okay, so this is why every day we go through the same thing, man. We follow the narrative of what's going on so we can be rooted, man. Every day we should understand more and more what we're a part of, man. You see? Because if your end and your beginning is here, and you're really not rooted in anything, man, the devil finna sweep you off your feet, man. Okay? Let's go here. I think that's in Colossians. Wow. Yeah, this is on Colossians. All right, 2 and part start at 6. It says, as ye have therefore received from Mashiach, Yahweh Shah the Lord, so walk ye in him. And this becomes our life. And as this becomes our life, we know what it is. See, we know the script. So when something doesn't add up to the script, see, the scripture is going to be, all right, a measuring tool for the times that we're in. Okay? People, they're subjugated to the lies of the devil of Esau, Edom, because they don't have nothing to measure him with. We have the scriptures. We know how it's supposed to go. We understand prophecy, man. That's why the apostles push, hey, tap into the prophecies, man. Okay? Because if we know the prophecies, man, we know when something is off. Okay? It's like someone knows their house, man. Okay? You go in your house, you know when something is off. You know your house. Okay? That's how we should be with these prophecies, man. All this misinformation, because see, misinformation and disinformation and, confusion is going to be frantic, man. Okay? Everybody with an opinion and what they think is going to be frantic, man. All right? But as we know how these things should go, okay, we know when something is off, when it don't measure up to the scriptures. Hey, we know to not to we know, okay, hey, to throw it out. Okay, the scriptures is a filter, man. Okay, it says Colossians 2 and 7. It says rooted and built up in Him. All right, rooted and established in the faith as you have been taught, abounding. All right, therein with thanksgiving, man. So this is the time to be rooted and built up in Yahweh, man. Establishing faith, because in order to have faith, you have to understand what you believe. Okay, if you don't know what you believe, you don't have faith. Okay, you don't understand what you believe, you do not have faith, man. Okay, let's go here to Ephesians. We'll end it here, Ephesians 4. All right, and the Lord, raised up this ministry of the prophets. Okay, for the edification, man. Okay, so we can be equipped for these times. All right, Ephesians 4 and 11 says that He gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying, all right, of the body of Hamashiach. So this ministry that the Lord has raised up is for the edifying of the body of Yahushua. Okay, being built up to where we can't be told anything. Okay, because Esau has the world, all right, the masses gullible as hell. All right, it said till we all come into the unity of faith and the knowledge, okay, of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the statue of the fullness of a Mashiach, man. See, we should be so occupied, and growing into our measure in Yahushua, okay, to where we, all right, are in a different, we should see things from a completely different lens. Okay, and we know what these things are. 14 said that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every doctrine, every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie and wait to deceive, man. We know Esau is the beginning of all the deception in the earth. There's different avenues. Like I said, you have, these celebrities, entertainers, even false prophets amongst Israel, right? And these other religions, his science and all this is nothing but deception, man. Okay, that's what this man, that's how this man's move is deception. Okay, so that was the point. I just wanted to go into that. A few things I was watching. Dealing with this guy, in his AI. This devil is building, a digital, tower of Babel. As we went into earlier, man. You know, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified. Till next time I say shalom. Kwame Yashala, Abba, soon, shalom.